Hi guys, thanks so much and welcome to The Social Life, the place to be for entrepreneurs with a purpose. Today I want to talk to you about something that I feel like is holding a lot of you back on moving forward with your something amazing, whether it's a nonprofit, it's a social enterprise. It's one of the things I think holds a lot of people back from asking for money, and it's how to do it confidently. Now, one of the things I made a point of when I started my nonprofit is I knew that I didn't like the traditional way of fundraising. So I never wanted to be someone who was asking for money all the time. I wanted it to kind of be part of my sustainability model, which was this is how we sustain the program all the time. So I didn't have to worry about always asking for funds. I always wanted to be able to receive the funds that we needed on our own terms and in our own way. Now, luckily, the way that my program is set up right now, I've had a few people actually come to us and tell, hey, there's some opportunities here to receive funds, and we'd love to have you apply. Now, in those cases, certainly I am totally fine with applying for grants. I am completely fine with applying for programs that give funds to nonprofits, because we are a nonprofit and my goal is to obviously complete that mission. We do need funds to do that. But I also wanted just certain ways in my program that we already appealed to how people like to give. A lot of research has shown that majority of fundraising comes from individual donors. And when you have that and you're armed with that information, it's a lot easier to set up your programs based on knowing that. So if you're not like a social entrepreneur and you're not creating a business that is a for-purpose business or organization, which already provides a way for you to receive revenue, like you're selling something and you receive revenue that way so that you can then take a portion of those funds and then give back. If you're not a model like that and you're a true nonprofit model and you depend on fundraising alone, here are a few tips that I think are great for that type of setup. So number one, I say make them bite-sized. Always ask in ways an individual donor could give. So when I think of an individual donor, like just a normal everyday person who works a job and might be able to give something, I think that possibly they could give you, between $50 to $250 out of their budget to give to your organization if it really resonates with them. Now, a lot of people feel like that's nothing, like that's a drop in the bucket. $50, $20, that's nothing. But after creating an organization like myself with Launchpad for Kids, where we do crowdfunding, it actually is huge for our program. We show people that they can actually give $20, $10, $50, $250, and all of it goes towards whichever kid you want to sponsor. And I think that's probably one of the most important things that I've ever done in my program, and I think that most nonprofits should actually move to this model where you are breaking down your structure of giving so that it's very individualized and very bite-sized chunks for the donor, so that they feel like they're giving to a cause, but they're doing it collectively and they're doing it in a way that is impactful for them. So as an example, if I have a kid who wants to participate in piano, well, some donors can pay the entire amount of, say $300, and they get to go for 3 months, or someone can pay, $10 and they can pay for the book that they need to actually participate in piano. And I feel like these things are very personal, very direct, and I think that's where charities are going. I think people are kind of done with the big charities that then will disperse the money that way, like however they see fit, which is obviously how nonprofits have to do it. The way that we are able to get our administrative funds is we do an event every year, and we use those funds from that event for kids to get sponsored. We use it for administrative funds. We use it for a lot of different things in our program to expand the program. Whatever we need in that year, we use those funds for that so that we don't have to go out and do some big fundraising or a lot of big asks. That allows us to not depend on grants and foundations, and we don't run our program off of those things. So a lot of you are just starting, and I say that if you're just starting and you're trying to get your organization off the ground, in order to ask for those funds confidently, you really need to be able to show people exactly where those funds are going and exactly how they will be used, and it doesn't matter how much you're getting or receiving, right? So I've listened to a lot of you, and a lot of you have asked me about getting a building. And if there's a way that you can do your program without the building and you can just start the program, I would start there. Like, don't worry about starting with all the accoutrements. Don't worry about having everything in place. Just start. And make sure you, obviously, if you're working with kids, you're protecting their privacy and things like that. But the bottom line is that you have to just start. Start with the people that are closest to you. Start with your network. Start with the people who have listened to you for years, talk about your dream and your ideas and your goals. Start with those people and start asking for, sometimes I wouldn't even be asking for funds. Sometimes I would just be talking about the program and people would say, I want to be part of that. How does it work? And I could immediately direct them to the website, and they could go, and there was no pressure from me as to how much did you donate, and are you going to give me more, and are you going to be part of it? And that's why I say it's so important to take people along on your journey, because you are just starting, and that journey is something that is huge, right? Like, you're still learning how to manage everything. You're still learning how to, you might still be getting your 501c3 status, but let people be part of what you're trying to do. Let them come alongside you in that journey. It is actually, you are your brand, right? And so you are the integral piece of your nonprofit. So when people know that you're on this journey and they're following you and they can see your passion and they can see your love for what you do, I think that really brings people in. And I'll actually be doing a live training on building your brand. And if you are not on my Social Life Diaries newsletter, you better get on there, because that's where I put out my dates and everything, dates and times and all of that. So if you're interested in any live trainings, my next one coming up for April will be in my Social Life Diaries newsletter. So be sure to sign up there, and I hope to see you there. But basically, you guys, you know what? It's truly about your brand. It's about building your personal brand. It's about understanding your platforms. It's about understanding your donors. It's about, making your nonprofit sustainable on its own. It's about so many things. When you're going to ask for money, you have to really think about the person that you're asking. Like, they're not millionaires, right? And do you know the millionaires that you're trying to ask for funds? Do they know your nonprofit? Do not go into this asking for something. Go into this by providing something. Like, what are you providing to them? What I provide to people is that you're part of a bigger mission, and that bigger mission is to close the opportunity gap. And people can decide to want to be part of that or not to want to be part of that. If you are motivating young girls, find women and other women in your community or in your network that also are very empowering women, and highlight them. Like, ask, can I interview you? Let them be part of building whatever it is that your mission is. Let them be part of that by highlighting them or interviewing them or providing some sort of value to them, like providing that value. I think I've shown you guys this example before, but it was absolutely incredible while I was doing it. And basically it was providing information to the kids in my program, or kids at baseline. And I would interview them and just ask them, like, hey, can I interview you? Can you answer these 12 questions? And I'm going to post it on my website, and I'm going to share it. And from that, they would then want to share it because it's about them. You have to understand that people like to talk about themselves, and people like to be highlighted. People generally would not do that for themselves, right? They wouldn't generally talk about themselves or like talk about what they do. So find something that's in the same vein as yours and go and put in some work before you ask for money. So that would be my second tip. My first tip is to make it bite-sized. My second tip is to put in work before you ask for money. And if you were on my Profitable Partnerships live training, this is one of the things I talked about. Like, before you ask for someone to give you something, think about what you're giving to them first and if it's valuable to them. But my biggest thing is, think about the bite-sized chunks that you can use. Think about ways that your program can be sustainable. Think about your MVP. Like, how can you just start today? Like today, what can you do to start? If today starting and empowering girls is writing empowering messages on Instagram, with fun colors and whatever to hit the younger range of kids that might be on there, 13-year-olds, 10-year-olds, whatever, start there, right? If you're trying to build something, like literally build like a product, build the product, show the product, talk about the product, put it in people's hands and let them try it first without buying it. You can't start with the money. You can't start with the ask before you give something of value first. So those are my tips on how to confidently ask for funds. You're never really asking for the money. You're never asking. You're making it possible and easier for people to want to give to you and to come alongside on your journey with you than you are to actually asking for the funds. There are tons of funds out there that are free for you to ask for. Like, go apply for a grant. Put in some work. Put in the grant proposal. Do all of that. Ask your local business to partner with you. Create an event to get started with something, like, do some. I actually had somebody on Instagram, and I'm going to put your name out there, UEP, and he did a great job of setting up he works with dogs, and he rescues pit bulls. And basically, he set up a program with his brother who owned a gym. If I'm incorrect, you can tell me. But anyway, he set up an event with his brother, set up a flyer and everything. He emailed me on Instagram or whatever, instant messaged me on Instagram and asked, "Hey, what do you think about this event? Can I do this? Even though I'm not fully a nonprofit." I was like, absolutely, as long as you just tell people like that you're not a nonprofit, they're not going to get tax deductions right now, but you are working towards that, or you're raising money to actually get your nonprofit status. Whatever it is, like, people will come behind you when they feel like you have a true mission and you have a true goal and you are moving towards that with or without them. And I think that is how you confidently ask for money without actually asking for money directly. So he was able to go ahead and set up this event. His brother was going to give him from the event a portion of the proceeds were going to go to this, and it was fitness, and it was going to benefit the organization that's helping dogs. Nothing to do with each other, but he made it work. It's the same thing as what I did for my organization. I work with kids, and I focus on closing the opportunity gap for kids. But when I created an event, I looked at what does my target market like to do. They are my age. They like to have fun. They don't want to be hassled at an event for donations. They just want to come have fun. They want to try good food. They want to try good drinks. So I created an event specifically around good food and good drinks. Had nothing to do with kids. Did not ask anyone to donate anything at the event. And I had people coming up to me at the event asking if they could donate. So it's something that you just have to move forward. When people see you move forward, that is how you confidently ask for money. I know you were expecting a silver bullet, but I don't have any silver bullets. I can just tell you what I think works and what I think will help you make the most impact for your nonprofit, for your social enterprise. There is no silver bullet ever in any of this stuff. There isn't one in branding. There isn't one in any of it. It's all about strategy. It's all about understanding your customer, understanding what they want, what they're looking for. That's what it's all about, honestly. So I just come on here to show you what I've learned. I come on here to tell you how I think I could shorten your learning curve to help you unleash your something amazing a little faster, to get that purpose that the world needs from you. That's why I'm here. So here's the deal. You guys have got this, okay? You just need to stop and think about what it is in your program that you can start today. Start from there. That's how you find your minimum viable product. That's how you find out where you need to start. A lot of you are asking, like, I'm not sure where to start. What could you actually start today? Like, what could you do today? What is it that you could do? Because if there's anything that you can do, you should be doing that. You don't have, there's no, I won't say there's not a special formula or there's not like a strategy. There are strategies, there are special formulas. But if you have a purpose and you have a mission, then you need to start focusing on that today. Like I told you guys in my story a long time ago, I said, hey, when I started at my nonprofit, I literally told my daycare provider at the time that I was starting this program and this is what it would do. And she said, here's $100. What can you do with that? I started. You just start. And then people will come alongside. You have to be like a moving train. And you got to just be moving. Always taking that momentum and just moving. So once you start that momentum, it never goes away. Like it never goes away. Because if you keep the momentum going, it's like it brings the energy from the universe or something. I don't know. But it just comes with you. You just have to start and you have to be focused on where you're going. You have to know what the end goal is. Like my end goal is when the opportunity gap is closed and all kids have the opportunity to participate in activities, then I've reached my goal. A nonprofit's goal is to put themselves out of business. When I am no longer needed to fund kids to get into extracurricular activities, I know I've accomplished my mission and I know that this is a good thing. I've made a social impact, right? What is your end goal? What is going to put you out of business? Is it when girls no longer need empowerment? Is it when, people are no longer needing services because there's no more homeless people on the street? Like, what is it that you're doing? What is your actual mission and purpose that's going to stop you from being in business? That's how you know you've created social impact. That's how you know when you've reached your end goal, when you're trying to do something in the social entrepreneurship scope. So whether it's for-profit, nonprofit, whatever it is, a for-purpose company, a benefit corporation, a 501c3, whatever it is, you will know when you'll reach your destination when you actually can't provide your services anymore, which is a good thing. So I hope that really helped you with how to confidently ask for funds. The most important thing is to really just start. The next important thing is to provide your own sustainability. And the last thing is when you're asking, put it into bite-sized pieces. Remember that the most people that give the most funds for any fundraising tactics at all, and you can go read anything on fundraising, the research shows that over 70 something percent, I think it's over 74% or 75% or something, I'm going to say over 75. Over 75% as individual donors, okay? That means I'm asking John, I'm asking Mary, I'm asking Susie, I'm asking everybody. You're asking individual people. So you need to think about what individual people can give, not what big corporations can give, not the big dream. Do I wish that somebody would come and, give me all this money for Launchpad so that I could then spread it all over the entire world? Absolutely. But you have to start somewhere. I have to start somewhere. I have to be ready for that success, right? And if you're on my newsletter, I had this big thing happen with my website. So I'm not quite ready for success yet. Not that kind of success. But I never stop. Don't ever stop. You got to keep moving forward. Okay? Just start and keep moving forward. Start with sustainability models. Think about what you can do for sustainability. And I will talk about them in another video. But my most important thing in this long video is bite-sized. Make your mission bite-sized. How can I be part of your mission if I only have $50? Think about it from there. Start from there. You guys get going. Unleash your something amazing. That's it for MIA Thursday, trying to manage it all, right? We're all trying to manage it all. That's why I stopped and wanted to give these tips and do these kind of longer vlogs and things, because We all are struggling with these types of things. How to ask for funds confidently. We're all asking those questions. And that's the way that I ask confidently. I don't. I never wanted to ask. I never wanted to be that person that's running around, hey, can you give me, $250? I never wanted to be that person. I wanted people to make the decision to be part of my program. And if they didn't make that decision on their own, then I wanted to give them a way to be part of it and have fun, which was my event. And so you have to think about what type of fundraiser you want to be. Are you somebody who has no problem going in and cold calling and asking people for funds? You could totally kill it at that and make tons of money at that. I am not that type of person. Not that I'm shy or anything, but I just don't want to do that. And that's not the type of organization that I run. So you have to think about that. Think about what type of organization you want to run. Think about what type of fundraiser you want to be, and then go out there and get it. I said that. Get it. Anyway, all right, that's it for MIA Thursday. Thank you guys so much for watching The Social Life. I will see you on Tuesday. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.